What's up, everybody? I'm Julian. I've just returned from a little bit of travel to Istanbul. I was in for about 10 days. I traveled to Albania and Istanbul in Turkey. I got a lot of interesting cigarettes at the airport. I'm gonna go take a look at those, and we're gonna smoke some of them today. Come with me. Alright guys, so I had school off today. I just got back from spring break. I woke up, I actually missed my first class, or at least thought I did. And it turns out I didn't, and I had just, an extra day off or two. So I thought today would be a perfect time to show you guys which cigarettes I got and, smoke some of them. First off, got these Rocks Mini Chocolate 10 cigarillos. These are fucking awful. I'm not really big into like cigars. I thought they'd be a bit skinnier, but they're just pretty shit, honestly. I'm not a big fan at all. They taste like very faintly like chocolate. These are the Harvest Blueberry Crush. I've actually had these before. They're very nice. They're a little blueberry flavored cigarillo, very cool. I don't know if I'm gonna smoke them today because I got them for my friend Simone, who was got into a little bit of a hit and run situation. She was in the hospital, I was gone, so I thought I'd bring her a little gift from Turkey. So got these, these, the Djarum Blacks, and then the Djarum Black Ruby. These are some Indonesian clove cigarettes. All of these are banned in the US. All of these are not possible to purchase in the US. And these are very good. We would definitely be smoking these. I want to try the Ruby. I've heard that they're a bit more of a cherry version of this original black cigarette, which I've already had. And then these are the Marlboro Shuffle. It's like a fruity mix of flavors. I have opened these already because I wanted to show my roommates them. But these are like a mixed fruity flavor version of Marlboro. So we're gonna be smoking a couple of these today for sure. All right, boom. Cigarette number one of the video. We're gonna be smoking Marlboro Shuffle. There's 5 flavor options. It doesn't say exactly which ones, but it's one of these 5 colors. I think it's like lime or apple or some shit. Orange, grape, lemon, and then I think strawberry, cherry. But yeah, you can't really tell. They're all random technically. They had another option. It was like Shuffle Exotic, which I'm sure would just be like even fruitier flavors. But I'm gonna tell you the truth about these. Is you actually can't really tell the taste difference that much. But I'm gonna show you the cigarette here. So this is the design on the cigarette. It is actually a Marlboro product, which is it's an American company, even though they're not allowed to sell them in the States because of the 2009 flavored cigarette ban. However, you're gonna press this down, this little play button, and you're gonna hear a little pop. When you hear that pop, that's the what is it? That's the flavor, like the thing. And it's just gonna taste generally quite fruity. All right, let's go. Okay. Just one pull. I think you can smoke these mostly like a regular cigarette if you just don't pop the ball. So they could be a daily smoker, but personally, I think with the flavor ball, like they're definitely not like a daily smoker cigarette. Because of the fruity flavor, I think I'd just get a vape if I wanted that. Let me see. Can I tell what flavor this is? Not yet. My balcony is quite small. I don't know if you can tell. I don't think it shows properly on the camera, but it's just about this size. It's like enough for someone to stand, but not much more than that. So I'm studying abroad right now in Barcelona, which is why I was in Istanbul in the first place. Istanbul is a fantastic city, one of my favorite cities I've been to so far. Just the vibe of it as a large city, and it is a very, very large city, is pretty fantastic. Like, it's very friendly. I don't know about everywhere in Turkey. I've heard good things because I only went to Istanbul, but people were quite friendly. Generally very conversational. They had questions to ask. If you needed help with the language, they're very quick to help you, and very unpretentious in that way. Sometimes when you don't really speak a language and you go to a country, especially as an American tourist, people are not always,
quick to help you with it, or just a bit, frustrated by you for understandable reasons. I think this is lemon flavored. Yeah, back to Istanbul. Definitely a great vibe in the city. It's very much like it's just a pretty good vibe. There's cats everywhere. That was one of my favorite things. There's cats everywhere. I was asking a friend of mine where to go for cats, like where to see them. And they said every street corner, and they were pretty much right. There were a couple places with like a super high concentration of cats. Like any park or any mosque, you'll find a lot of cats there. Churches as well. And in the metro as well, there'll be cats, sleeping on top of the card readers. There's gonna be like all sorts of stuff that you're gonna see, especially at night when it's a bit warmer. Like they'll go and chill inside, and everybody, people ask why there's so many cats, and I think the easiest answer is just they've created a very friendly environment for them. They treat them pretty nicely. There's cat food everywhere. There's people build houses for the cats. Some people I met there told me that they don't love it as much as a tourist would, because it's very unaffordable as far as Turkey goes. It's not a cheap city at all, and it was cheap in the past, but it's one of the most touristic cities in the world. Like there's a massive amount of tourists that go there every year from all over the world, rightfully so. There's fantastic history. It's very beautiful. It's fucking enormous, and it's just it's very expensive and kind of hard place to live for people who live there and work there day to day. So definitely just take that with a grain of salt, or not with a grain of salt, but just you gotta I think people lack that understanding where they'll go to a country, especially someone who has the American dollar or the euro, and they're very much like, this is oh, this place is so cheap. It's not cheap for the people who live there, typically, All right, that's cigarette number 1 done. Let's go on a walk.
Dirty, 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 dirty. Go away, gone in the club, dirty, dirty.
Made it to our destination. This is the Park de España Industrial in Barcelona. It's a small park right by the train station. Not small. I like it because it looks super futuristic, but yeah. So pick out our next smoke. I've decided that we're gonna smoke the Djarum Black Rubies next. I was a bit hesitant to open these because I don't want my other pack of Djarum Blacks to get stale first, and I don't want them to go stale at the same time, but I just really want to try these. I like the warnings on these, all of the airport cigarettes, the smoking kills. It's very blunt. It's a nice reminder, Not gonna stop, but it's, it's a good thing to know. These are Kretek, or clove cigarettes from Indonesia. This is Djarum. This is what it looks like. It's a pretty serious fucking cigarette, if you see that. It looks a little bit like a cigarillo. I think they're quite good. It tastes quite good. The regular clove tastes a bit like spices. This one, I've been told, has a bit of a cherry flavor, so I guess we're gonna figure it out. So immediately with this cigarette, I taste a bit more of like a, a bit more of a fruity kind of aromatic flavor than before, but it still has that clove kind of taste, which is, like a little bit spicy, almost like a chai kind of situation. But it's a very nice cigarette. These are very good quality, but they're very serious. It's very rare for me to get a buzz off of like one cigarette, but I find with these that I can. I'm filming like this, and I took my headphones off because I found out that the mic just isn't working on those, so, or not working, but it just doesn't connect to the video, so I'm just gonna do it like this. I think one random thing I wanted to talk about, the new World Cup song. It's fucking ass, bro. It's really bad. They got Jelly Roll to sing it. I don't know like how we went from Shakira to Jelly Roll in 12 years, but that's pretty fucking bad. When I heard it, I was just like, yeah, they should have kept this guy Jelly Roll in prison, bro. Like this really, like he should not have been able to write this song. They shouldn't have like, it's like a boom clap, like Ford F-150 commercial type song. If you haven't heard it yet, I wouldn't recommend listening to it, but just like the first 10 seconds you'll get the vibe. But yeah, I'm not fucking with that at all.
I've been in Barcelona for 3 months now. I really love it. This is a great city. It's very fantastic. People say people in Barcelona are unfriendly or they're a bit rude. I don't totally agree. I wouldn't say that they're super friendly, especially the Catalans, which if you don't know the history of, this is a region called Catalonia, which is sort of like, it used to be its own kingdom, and then as part of a treaty back in 1492, it became part of Spain. And they have their own language and their own culture, and there's a lot of like sentiment. They want to separate. A lot of people don't want to be part of Spain anymore. In 2017, they held a referendum for it, and it didn't work. Spain brought in the military, and they were kind of not, didn't go through, but there's still a lot of sentiment for that. So they're a bit insular, like especially the Catalans. Not all of them are super friendly, and some of them want to speak their own language. They don't really want to talk to foreigners, which is okay, I understand. But there is good community here. There's good people to meet, and in my program, I've met a lot of cool people. But came out here by myself to study, and it's been a good experience so far. I like it a lot. But it is a pretty serious cigarette. If you take a look at the filter, we're like halfway done. Like this is how it looks so far. It's a pretty serious fucking dirty ass thing I'm putting in my body. But it tastes so good, so it's more like a treat, you know? You can't smoke these every day, especially they come in packs of 10. It was about €350 for this pack in Turkey. I don't really know what the legal standing of this is in Turkey because they sell these kinds of things at the airport, but I didn't see them anywhere in the country. And when I asked, they were like, no, only at the airport. But they do have a lot of these flavored cigarettes. I was like a kid in a candy shop at the fucking airport, duty free. But yeah, backwoods. First time I've seen that in Europe. Yeah, it was really sick. Really cool place to go. You see everybody smokes out there. I think it's something like 44% of all men in Turkey smoke cigarettes, which is really wild. They're like less on the Zins, not a lot of vapes, all cigarettes, and it's fucking dirt cheap in Turkey. It was like €2 for a pack of cigarettes, which in Spain, coming from the States, it's about €6, which is cheap for me, but even cheaper out there. Like, just a completely different thing. But overall, the Djarum cigarettes, like these are Indonesian. They're not like Turkish made, but if you can get your hands on these, I definitely recommend them if you like to smoke. I think they're fucking fantastic. They taste really good. And they're strong. They're real strong, so it's really, really solid. They're very, I think there's like a lot of tar in them. I know if you are watching this, which I'm assuming a lot of people that might watch this are probably from the States or just my friends or whatever, but if you know Jacob fucking Jones, like the guy who smokes cigarettes on benches, like that guy, he's, you know, kind of a trailblazer in this regard. This video is definitely inspired, but he said that the Djarum cigarettes are one of his favorites, and I definitely understand why. Because they're very good, and they're very unique as far as a cigarette goes. I think one of the biggest things I've felt just with Europe generally is like there's certainly a language barrier, especially in Barcelona. In Spain generally, I speak a bit of Spanish. It's not the best, and it's certainly gotten a lot better since I've been here, but it's definitely like I wish I was more able to have better conversations with people, you know, like really understand people in a different way, because when you speak to somebody, they'll speak to you in English, but you're also just thinking like if I can carry some conversations. It feels really good when I'm able to get a good interaction done in Spanish, but it's definitely tough. It's not perfect, of course, but people do speak a lot of English out here, especially in Barcelona, because it's so touristic. But yeah, you know, like language barrier is definitely a thing. Like there's so many places I've been. Turkey was one of them, Albania another one, Poland, anywhere I've gone where I'm just like, dude, I really wish I could just talk to people a bit easier here. If I could speak every language in the world, that would be the coolest fucking thing ever. Like if I could have any superpower, that would probably be it. It's like be able to speak to anyone, anywhere. Because everybody has so much to say and so much to teach you. And you don't want to be the handicap with that, you know? Because I think as far as English goes, it's a fantastic one to have as your first language, because a lot of people do globally speak English.
but it is sort of, you know, like I wish I could speak everything. Getting to the end of this one right about now. They take a bit longer to smoke, but they're fucking so good. I don't really know where else you can get them. I know Indonesia, but I know in the States and in the EU, they have bans on flavored cigarettes, which is a bit tough because I also just don't really understand it. They have vapes, which are, you know, like the flavor possibilities for that are way crazier. And, you know, I guess one of the things was, you know, not to market towards kids, but then vapes just came in and did the same thing, and it was not banned. So I personally, like, if I could make the legislation, I'd bring back flavored cigarettes in the States and then ban vapes. But I know some people wouldn't like that either. It's all just up to what you like to do, I guess. I'm not really into Zins. I'll do them, but it's definitely something like, I think it's sort of like a resignment to sort of nicotine addiction, I guess. And that's just my opinion, where it's kind of like you are just doing it because you're addicted to it. There's no fun in that. There's no like activity or taking a break to have a smoke, because that's part of what I really like. Is like you just go get a little breather with a cigarette. Like, that's awesome. That's where friendships are made. I had a guy tell me that. That's where friendships are made, is out in the smoking area at a club or a bar. Like, that's where you're really gonna meet people. And that's kind of a, you know, fantastic thing about smoking that Zins kind of takes away, in my opinion. But I definitely see the merit to them. You know, I've quit a couple times smoking, but I've come back to it. The longest time was maybe like 2 months, 2.5, as of now. But I think that Zins are a good gateway to get people off of that. And, you know, you just get mouth cancer instead of lung cancer, and it just reduces your gums and fucks up your gums instead of your lungs and your entire internal organs. So, you know, there's definitely merit to it. But getting down to the end here, it's getting a little hot. Put this out right here. I'm gonna show you the filter, because these are fucking serious, man. Here, wait, look at this. You see how dark it is? These are fucked, man. Alright, finished with my cigarette. The sun's going down a little bit, but yeah, I think I may have locked myself out of my apartment, so I think we're gonna go walk somewhere else and try a different one. You know.
I walk in the Louis store, can I be cheap? Got bad bitches on me just as my feet. I walk in and you know that I'm raping, but scamming niggas.
Okay, so after that, I walked to a cafe, got a little sandwich and a beer. I smoked another cigarette, but I felt really insecure and kind of weird about filming at the cafe, so I just didn't do it. But eventually I got back in. My roommate let me in. They were home, so.
All right, I've been home for a little bit. I'm gonna show you the last cigarettes I showed. Boom, a Harvest Blueberry Crush. It's like a blueberry menthol. Unlike the other cigarettes that are just kind of a general fruity flavor, these ones have a very strong blueberry flavor. So I was waiting for the sound to go away, but I once had an Australian guy tell me, I was in Poland, and I bought a pack of cigarettes, and they came out very thin like this. And I wasn't expecting them to be thin, and I went to smoke them. And I was telling this Australian guy I didn't know they were going to be thin before I bought them. And he looks at me and he goes, "You smoking the Madonna Vogues, mate?" So to this day, I still call them Madonna Vogues, this style, like the thin cigarette. I'm gonna give the rest of this pack to my friend Simone. I hope she doesn't mind that there's one missing. I don't think she will. I gotta go to the club tonight. I don't really want to, necessarily. But the people I'm going with, I'm not going to see them till fucking God knows when. Next, so, you know, you got to just show faith. It's like this shit that people say. It's like you got to be the community if you want. To have a village, you got to be the village. Some shit like that. That's what we're going to do. So, gonna start drinking soon, get some caffeine, try to get myself hype. But yeah. It's such a weird thing to complain about, you know? There's so many people in the world that are struggling like that, and I try not to think about it all the time. There's so many people with such much bigger struggles than the ones that I have, that I'm gonna wait for traffic to pass. There's so many people that have like real material and physical struggles in the world. So to complain about like having to go club in a foreign country might sound a bit trite, because it sounds a bit trite to myself when I say it. But I think it's also, you can't get into a mindset where everything that you find frustrating or anything you might be dealing with, you won't be able to complain about. You got to try and like not let the whole world weigh on you, but at the same time, you got to be aware of how things are, so that you're not, so that you're not minimizing everything that you go through or everything that you feel, because it's not a good mindset to just be like, well, it's worse somewhere else. But it's also, you got to put yourself in perspective. So I'm not saying it like it's such a big thing that I have to do. I'm letting this whole cigarette burn away. Fuck. But yeah, flavor on these cigarettes is crazy. It's very, very strong. It's much stronger than the other ones that I was smoking earlier, the Marlboro Shuffle. They're still good, but it's like, this one is a much stronger like blueberry flavor. So it's like either you like it or you're not gonna like it at all. I think if you're really not into that kind of thing, like, this cigarette is probably not for you. But it's still good. Like, it's a good smoke, and it's a good, like, it's like a treat sometimes. It certainly doesn't make your breath smell as bad, that's for sure. Take a bit longer to smoke as well. All right. Oh no, I dropped it outside the ashtray. All right. Peace out.